Good evening, guys. This will be the second vlog in the series. This time I'm planning to talk about configuration of the Red Hat satellite. So if you recall, last time we installed all the binaries and we also installed and pre-configured the satellite to the point that we could actually log into the portal and have a very brief look. So to effectively add additional elements to the satellite, what we need to do is to add the subscription. Just keep in mind that Red Hat doesn't provide any licenses. They provide subscriptions for the support. So the purpose of this presentation is to take you through the steps required to create the manifest, import the manifest on the satellite, and start the configuration of specific elements which will allow us to synchronize the satellite with the packages stored at the Red Hat CDN. So what's our focus? So our focus in this session is Red Hat satellite configuration. So we'll cover satellite subscription manifest, how to import the manifest onto Red Hat satellite, how to configure the products, how to add the Red Hat repositories, how to create sync profiles, how to create content views, and how to create activation keys. So what's the manifest? So Red Hat Satellite 6 imports content from Red Hat's Content Delivery Network CDN. To import this information into the satellite, it is necessary to create a subscription manifest. A subscription manifest is a set of encrypted files that contain selected subscription information. Once the manifest is created on Red Hat portal, it needs to be downloaded and imported to the satellite server. So in other words, first of all, you have to contact your account manager or your preferred reseller and purchase satellite subscriptions, and also additional subscriptions to cover your Linux fleet, whether that's as per the Node subscription or the VDC subscription. Just keep in mind that VDC subscription allows you to cover a specific ESX server or the Hyper-V node, and after that every virtual machine running on that node is automatically subscribed. For the purpose of the VDC, there is additional tool called VirtWho, which effectively connects to the hypervisor and collects the mapping between the ESX or hypervisor node and the guests running on the specific node for the purpose of the subscription. So keep also in mind that from satellite 6.3, satellite server cannot be self-subscribed. That implies that you need to have a additional satellite subscription available for the installation, because the satellite server is supposed to be subscribed to the Red Hat CDN. So as I mentioned, so if you have the satellite subscription on the CDN, you will be able to attach that satellite to that specific subscription, and after that enable all the required repositories to install the satellite. Please refer to the previous vlog how you effectively can connect to the specific subscription and what repositories has to be enabled to install the satellite. Keep also in mind that you require additional subscriptions to manage your fleet, as mentioned before. If you purchase VDC with the Smart Management subscription, you are entitled to 50 satellite subscriptions. What it means is that those subscriptions will be automatically granted to you, and after that you will be able to either install 50 satellites if you wish, or a satellite and plenty of additional capsules. With the Smart Management subscription, you are also entitled to the Insights Analytics, which effectively provides you with the insight into your fleet And what the Insight does, it collects the information about the configuration and the packages you have, and provides the analytics side of this via providing information what vulnerabilities are present on your servers, and with this it also provides the solution how to fix or what package is supposed to be installed. In quite many situations, Insights also provides you with the Ansible playbooks, which you can deploy automatically to the nodes straight away from the satellite. So how to create the manifest? So first of all, what you need to do, you need to log into Red Hat and go to the subscriptions. Once you are in the subscriptions, you navigate to the subscription allocations. And we've got the satellite demo. So I created before the satellite demo subscription allocation, but as you can notice, there are 0 entitlements right now. So if we click on the satellite demo, we can effectively add to it additional subscriptions. So I will add a few subscriptions to cover a few Linux servers which we might use in future. So I will use around 10 subscriptions for self-supported Linux. Once you will select all the subscriptions you require to manage your environment, you just click submit. Please keep in mind that you can also add additional subscriptions for other products like Red Hat Gluster and CloudSuite and the OpenShift and so on. As with the standard subscriptions for the standard nodes, once you have the subscription allocated to a specific server, for example, a normal Linux server, this enables you access to specific products. Very similar situation is with the satellite. Once you have those subscriptions for specific products in your manifest, and once you will import that manifest to your satellite server, this manifest will effectively enable specific Red Hat products on your satellite server. So we already have in our satellite demo manifest 10 subscriptions for standard Linux. So now we can export the manifest. So we exported the manifest, and now the next step is to add the manifest to the satellite server. So to do that, maybe I will just move it here. We just need to navigate to our satellite server. Login. And now to do it, we just need to navigate to Content, Subscriptions, Manage Manifest, and after that choose File. So we're choosing the file, and it's going to be imported right now. It might take a few minutes. So the manifest has been imported. As previously stated, we added to the manifest 10 entitlements. Just please know that we've got also possibility to change the entitlements from this selection. right? So what it means is whatever change we'll make here, it will be also reflected at the Red Hat portal, right? So that means that, for example, if we will change the number to 8, this change will be also reflected in the manifest in those entitlements here. So if, for example, we would add additional subscriptions in here to the manifest, we would be able to add the subscriptions automatically from here. Alternatively, we could just click on the manage manifest, and we could refresh what the manifest and all those additional subscriptions would be available in here. So we've already uploaded the manifest. So the next step will be enabling the products. So to do that, we would navigate to products. And we could effectively create additional products for third parties. But if it comes to the Red Hat, because all the repositories have been already enabled based on the subscription we just imported, so those are all the products which are available right now. So what we need for the standard basic implementation, we would require there are quite a few. Okay, so if we will switch this on, there will be we will get the list of recommended repositories, right? So it will be much easier this way. So what usually you can enable is Red Hat Enterprise Linux 7, because those are the base packages required for your server, and just add the 7.7. So the 7.7 will cover all the minor versions from 0 to 6. If you really require to limit yourself to the minor version, you can add the minor version. Just keep in mind that any other additional minor version will also take additional space. So I will add this. I might also add the optionals. Just keep in mind that optionals and extras take a lot of space, right? So optionals, and we always need to go with the tools, right? So let's find the Red Hat Satellite tools. Because we are running version 6.4.3, we need to effectively enable the repository with Red Hat Satellite Tools 6.4 for Red Hat 7. Red Hat Satellite Tools 6.4 for Red Hat 7. If you are planning to also provision servers from the satellite, you should also enable Kickstart. And we will go with the latest version. We can also enable Ansible repository if you are planning to install Ansible anywhere on any other server. But for the purpose of this presentation, I will skip that because, well, we don't need to effectively download that many packages. So the next step is synchronization. So Satellite provides you with the synchronization templates, or synchronization plans. So what you can do is you can go to the content, go to the sync plans, and after that create a new synchronization plan called, for example, daily Red Hat. And you can run this on a daily basis, started on, I don't know, 1 a.m. in the morning or at night. And let's change the date to 28th. And just save it. And after that, what you need to do, you just need to add product. So just notice where we are. We are in the synchronization plans, and we click on the daily Red Hat. And after that, we're clicking on the products. And after that, we're clicking on add. And we can add from this selection Red Hat Enterprise Linux Server, which effectively covers all the repositories we've just selected in the previous step. So click Add Selected, and that has been added to your synchronization plan. Now, if you would like to start this much quicker, what you can do, you can go to the sync status, and you can click on the expand all, and you will have all the repositories we've just added within that specific product. As you can see, they have been never synced. Now, because this is the demo environment or lab environment, I don't have that much space allocated. And just keep in mind that for this set of packages, I would require at least 70 gigabytes or maybe 80 gigabytes of the storage, right? So Red Hat gives us an additional option. So all those packages can be downloaded straight away if the download policy for the Satellite or the capsule is set to the immediate. Alternatively, if it's not set to the immediate, you've got option to download these packages in the background or download these packages on demand. What does it mean to download these packages on demand? It means that when the client or when you are running a yum install or yum update specific package on the server and that package doesn't exist yet on Satellite, it will be automatically requested by the Satellite from the CDN, downloaded, and after that provided to the server. So let's make sure that the policy, which is a default, is set to the on-demand. So we'll go to settings, content, and we've got the default capsule download policy on demand and dev default repository download policy on demand. We'll leave it that way because I don't want to download anything right now. Okay, so what's the next step? So next step will be creation of the content views. So content view is the way how the packages are exposed and what packages are exposed to the end client. So I will read this from here. Content views are managed selections of content which contain one or more repositories, like for example YAML, Puppet or containers with optional filtering. These filters can be either inclusive or exclusive and tailor a system view or content for lifecycle management. They are used to customize content to be made available to client systems. And as mentioned, the content views come with the filters. So I will show you how you can effectively create a content view. Now, keep in mind that the content views can impact the performance of the satellite, right? And as mentioned in here in the slide, the filters can be either inclusive or exclusive. But that effectively implies that you have to do some thinking about what you are filtering out or you are adding into the content view. If you are not sure, don't create any filters. I will create one content view, Red Hat 7 SOE, and we'll effectively save it. And now we've got a selection of the repositories we can add to our content view. Now we can add all those repositories. The way I usually approach the filters, as I mentioned, is that I'm creating two filters. The first filter is to include all the packages. Content type will be the package, inclusion type, include, save, include all RPMs with no errata. What it means is that all the packages will be included, but errata will be excluded, right? Now, another one I usually create is a filter with errata only. And this will be errata by date and type, and we'll include it. Now, we've got 3 types of errata: security, enhancements, and bug fixes. So security and bug fixes is self-explanatory. Enhancements are any enhancements to the system, including enhancements from, like, for example, update of the minor version, for example, from 7.5 to 7.6 and so on. So once you have this filter, you select the date. The date tells you what packages will be included. So if, for example, we'll set the date 27th of May, all the errata packages which were released up to this date will be included in this. So how you can use it? So let's imagine that your patch management is running on a monthly basis, and let's say that it's on usually 26th of the day, sorry, on the 4th Sunday of every month. So on the 4th Sunday of that month, you can effectively set that end date, and after that, all those packages which were released to that date will be included in that specific content view. So you click save, and our content view is ready. Now, if we would like to effectively publish this version, we need to first synchronize all the packages. So if we want to do it manually, we can do effectively like this, and we can click synchronize now, and the satellite will communicate with the CDN, and after that it will download all the packages. Or in our case, it will just process the metadata. It will show what packages are available, but no package will be effectively downloaded, which I prefer in this lab setup. So while we are waiting for this, I will cover also the environments. So the satellite allows you to also create the environments and the life cycle. So how you can use it? So lifecycle environments is the concept where you follow effectively from one environment to another environment. So let's imagine that you've got development environment, UAT environment, and the production environment. So once you have those 3 environments, you can effectively expose the same packages to each environment in turn. So let's say that at the beginning of the patch management, you are exposing the packages to the development environment, you install those packages, you test those packages, and after that, once the testing is successful and the application teams confirm that everything is working as expected, you can also afterwards promote the same repositories to the next environment, for example UAT. Once the process has been followed again and every application team confirmed that the application are working as expected, the performance is correct, you can promote the same repositories to the production environment to finish the patch management cycle. So I will create now environment path. So let's say that our path is the production. Well, actually, we'll have to start from the other side. Development, and after that, we have also the production. So that you can see the prior environment is development, and we've got now succession, development and production. If we would like to add additional one, let's say UAT, we can add UAT and select the prior environment, development, click save, and we've got now development, UAT and prod. This will come along all together when we have the content view ready, because effectively content view can be promoted to each environment in turn. So another concept I would like to introduce to you is called the activation keys. Activation keys can be used during the registration of the host to the satellite server. So for example, if we will have the activation key for Red Hat 7 and the environment dev, we'll select the environment dev and we'll click save. Now we can't select anything, I think, at this stage, no, because this content view hasn't been promoted yet, and we don't have anything in release version because the packages haven't been synchronized nor published using the content view. But once the content view has been published and promoted, we will be able to select here a specific version, like for example Red Hat 7, and the content view which exposes the packages to the servers. Another element you can do with the activation key are the subscriptions, which can effectively be automatically attached to the servers during the registration of the server to the satellite, which is a very handy concept because you don't need to run additional subscription manager attach command, but it's enough to do subscription manager register with the activation key, and because the activation key includes the subscriptions, everything is covered. So I will add our only one subscription, which consists of 10 physical nodes. And now if we would add additional server we would register server to the satellite, the activation key would grant one subscription out of this pool to that server. Another clever thing you can do with the activation key is to automatically enable the repositories. So for example, we've got those 4 repositories which we configured when we added the repositories to the satellite. And notice that some are enabled, some are disabled. So by default, the Red Hat 7 server is enabled, but the rest are disabled. Definitely we have to enable the Red Hat Satellite tools, and we don't really have to enable the optionals nor the kickstart, but let's do it anyway. So once you select all the repositories, you can effectively do enabled, and they are all enabled. So what it means is, if we will use this activation key to register the server to the satellite, Not only the Seva will be granted a subscription from this pool, but all the repositories which are effectively enabled in this view will be also enabled on the Seva during the registration and host collection. So you can effectively create something like a groups in the satellite, and after that treat them as one entity. So for example, how you can approach that. Let's imagine that you've got a specific business application which consists of multiple Seva. You could, for example, create a host collection for that business application, or any other applications you might think of. So another one is when you create your activation key, you've got here a string of for the subscription manager, which could be effectively copied and pasted to the Seva, and the Seva will be registered using that activation key. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at our synchronization. So they are still synchronizing, so it might take us a while. So thank you very much for your attention. I will cover the content views and how the content views can be published and promoted to servers, how to expose the packages in the next session. And if you have any questions, please email me at sebastianbaszczej@incentragroup.com. Thank you very much.